All right, what is happening, people? Welcome to the drop. It is Thursday at 12:30. It's coming to you live from Cactus Music World Headquarters. You see the sign up there. Quinn Bishop is back, man.
It lives. It lives.
We had a storm that wrecked our city. You had a vacation. I had a vacation, and so it's good to be back in the saddle.
It's been a wild time. It's been like a month.
It's been, Cactus Music was without power for how long?
I don't even know. About a week.
Felt like an eternity.
Yeah, it was a weekish, maybe. I don't know.
But the doors were open and people could get the vinyl fix that they needed.
Yeah, people came by and say, "Hey, we had limited shopping," but it all kind of worked out. And all of us in Houston, Texas, man, we're scrappy. We're survivors. We're
takes a lot more than a Category 1 hurricane and 2.1 million people without power.
Now, I'm not looking for more than Category 1. Nope. Let's just leave it at that.
Let's get to new releases, baby. Let's talk about good stuff.
Let's talk about, we got an in-store coming up on Saturday. Have you seen Days before?
No.
Phenomenal band. They're very shoegazy. Daisy's very shoegazy. Great band. They have a brand new cassette tape available on Saturday. And they're going to be rocking the record store 3 p.m. this coming Saturday at complimentary St. Arnold Beverages. And this is just a crackerjack band. They're terrific. Come see them. You're looking for...
Where does this trippy foursome hail from?
From H-Town, baby.
Oh, Houston.
Yeah, they're from right here.
Come on.
And so they're... Toss them right down there.
Okay, let's show them some love.
Yeah, come see them. Kid-friendly. Bring the kids, hang out. See some great music, discover maybe your favorite new local band. Should be fun. It's going to be a good time.
Do it.
All right, let's talk about some new releases. We got a lot of catching up to do over these next few shows, so we're going to kick it off right now. For those that don't know, Beyonce's Cowboy Carter, the definitive vinyl edition, is out. This is 2 LPs and like a box set with a 40-page book and photos. Finally dropped, so people are excited about that. Very, very significant record, important record in her career. Here's something I can share with you that's rather amazing.
Go.
There are 5 record stores in the entire country that are having a contest, an enter to win contest.
Okay.
We have autographed Beyonce art prints, and you can win one of those. Go to cactusmusictx.com, and all the rules of the contest are there. It runs through this coming Monday.
All right, Beyonce fans, there you go. Archival, if you're listening, babe.
Yeah,
this is for you.
And
she doesn't sign a lot of stuff.
She is not a signer.
Yeah,
she
so
really
is going to be very
charity. It's a big deal.
It really is a big deal to have her autograph.
Could be your chance.
Right on.
All right, we're going to keep the great ladies record releases rolling on. There's a brand new Camila Cabello record. This is CXOXO. Big record produced by Wincho that produced Rosalia, Frank Ocean, FKA Twigs.
Oh, all right.
Everybody's saying this is a pretty bold record for her.
I have not heard this.
She just changed labels. So she was with Sony Music for a long time. She just switched over to Geffen, which really kind of gives her access to the universal stable of artists that Drake's on this record, Playboy Cardi, who that song is like the most annoying song of the year. I love it. It just like... It's called much. I Love It. I don't love it. It's just like bam, bam, bam.
People love it.
Yeah, it's kind of earwormy. But big record for her. What you need to know is here at Cactus, we have autographed editions of this record. If you purchase this record, there's an autographed...
trying to get the glare off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's very glary. There's an autographed insert in there, hand signed by the artist. So you can pick that up here at the old record store.
And if you're on the fence, 2 tracks featuring Drake. City Girls are on a track, and Lil Nas X.
And the record's co-produced by the guy that did, and his name escapes me, but the guy that did the Lil Nas X record. So so Bound for Glory.
Come on, baby.
Okay, so we have an indie store exclusive of this record, and this is a really interesting record. This is Johnny Blue Skies, and you're like, who the hell's Johnny Blue Skies?
Tell him.
It's Sturgill Simpson.
Sure it is.
He said he would only ever record 5 albums under the name Sturgill Simpson. That's what he did, and now he changed his name.
Yeah.
He's a peculiar artist because the first Sturgill Simpson record was a folk record. Then he did the country record that launched him to the stratosphere. Then he did a soul record. Then he did a hard rock record. Then he did 2 bluegrass records. This is back to the straight ahead, like country, what you want to hear him do.
Troubadour.
I'm telling you, the 2 tracks he dropped prior to release, I'm like, okay, we're back. All right. Excellent.
So I like, is it Who I Am? That's the one I like. Mint tea is really good.
Mint
too.
tea is great, right?
Right?
That's
Yeah,
awesome
yeah.
too. My wife loves that one. That's
so it's cool picture too.
Good to have him back. I think this is a new chapter for him. It's gonna do really well. So
Love it.
we have an indie store exclusive colored vinyl on that as well.
Nice.
It's
a good price too.
Yeah, here's a new one, Silverado. Self-titled. You might be thinking, who's Silverado? Well, if you're a fan of Texas music and Red Dirt stuff, that's Mike of the Moon Pies.
Oh,
they just after 8 albums and 15 years together, they made the bold move. He had always said he picked that name just kind of on the fly. He's like, hey, you guys need a name. Somebody's like, hey, you need a name.
This is what it is.
Mike of the Moon Pies. Kind of maybe always regretted that a little bit. So now they've relaunched, rebranded. The name is Silverado. Slightly new direction, strong record, but a bold move in the middle of your career to just change the name of your band. But they're taking their fans with them. I think people know who they are, and it's a solid record. That Radio Wave track is great. I know it's doing really well at Texas Radio. Check it out. We were supposed to have an in-store with them, but there was this little Hurricane Barrel. We got barreled.
Hurricane Barrel.
We're going to reschedule, and you'll get to see them at the record store soon. Next up, keeping it kind of Americana, this is Jim Lauderdale, my favorite place. If you don't know Jim Lauderdale,
been around for
and you're a country music fan, you know his songs because he wrote a ton of hits for George Strait, Vince Gill, The Chicks, Gary Allen, George Jones. He even played George Jones on a stage play.
Yeah.
This record's great. It's kind of part 60s folk, definitely just straight up old school country, and a little bit of bluegrass in there. He's terrific art. This is 37th album.
Yeah.
How about that?
He likes to make albums.
He likes to make records.
So I like the fact that he's rocking the traditional Nashville kind of embroidered, suit. I've always wanted one of those.
A nudie suit?
Not a nude. Well, I mean, not a real nudie. I
but just like
a real nudie. Yeah. I really think
that would look good on broadcast. Be like man on the street in his embroidered
guy
outfit.
in the funny outfit.
That would be good. Okay, this is next up. Daryl Hall. D. This is his first solo record in many, many years. In a decade, actually. Produced by No Oats. Oat free. Not a very pleasant breakup between those two guys.
Situation. That's unfortunate.
Produced by David Stewart. This is a strong record. If you like his previous work, all the Hall & Oates stuff, it's very soulful. It's groovy. It's got kind of a nod to the 80s with Dave Stewart producing. I saw him while I was in Chicago.
Really?
Outstanding show. And he's one of those guys for me back when he was in his heyday, the 80s. I wasn't a crazy fan. That was just like they were always on the pop radio. It just kind of, all right, it's big pop hits. I like the songs.
Yeah.
Okay, but was never a big fan. That Daryl's House show, I love that show.
Fantastic. That's a great show.
I love that show. It made me a fan.
I like the Cheap Trick episode.
Oh,
I thought that was really good, and the Billy Gibbons one is good too.
So
they're all good.
He comes out, does like a new song, does the song, and then like third song, like bang, rich girl, like everybody
the hits.
Just
everybody
goes nuts.
Give them what they want.
It was
a showman.
Fun show. If he comes, he's just finishing up these dates. I'm sure he's going to come here and play. Go see him.
Remind me.
Really fun show.
Remind me.
Speaking of fun, this is a terrific record.
I like this a lot.
This is Lake Street Dive.
I like this a lot.
They have taken a left turn into just straight up fun.
I'm glad you said that because I mean there are these kind of like 70s big pop song with a little R&B.
Yeah, and they got the synth bass doubling.
And then there's some like a little new wavy.
Yeah.
Nod, a little new wavy seasoning comes in on definitely on Far Gone. Good album. Yeah, it is a fun album. Good music. I like these guys.
That Good Together song. I love that song.
Yeah.
First play,
it's great. Right out of the box.
Awesome.
I love the vocals are super strong. Love it.
And they're really,
I'm going to say get this one.
And they're a really quirky, eclectic group, kind of come out of almost like the theater community kind of thing, but jazzy. This record is more centered. They had a lineup change. They had their first ever lineup change. They switched out guitar players, and I really think it lends something different to the music. The guitar is kind of a little more forward.
This is the first I've heard from them. I know the name, but this is as far as listening to some of the music. This one I have listened to a little bit.
Yeah, they're fun. Check it out, man. I think this is a great summer record, even though we're getting to where the summer's finishing.
And just to clarify by a little bit, meaning when I got here earlier, I was scrolling through iTunes trying to catch up on the list. So full disclosure, because I never say, "Oh, I love that," and not having heard.
Oh, that's me. I will not
I
talk
can't.
about something
I can't do it
if I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
That's me.
Sorry. But I think White Oak just announced King Gizzard November show. And guess they have a new album.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming soon.
Yep, they have a new album every week, pretty much. You know what? We may have to.
We have talked about them.
Show.
There was a year, or I think in the first year that we were doing this, we probably talked more King Gizzard.
I would punk Ruben. I wouldn't even include it in the script.
Right.
I would just have it be
pull it out.
Here's one.
King Gizzard, I love it.
Well, here's a guy. He's doing his best to keep up with record making as King Gizzard.
Yeah.
Joe Bonamassa. He makes a lot of records.
Yeah,
this is live at the Hollywood Bowl with a 40-piece orchestra, and there's a lot of fan favorites on this. It's produced by the great Kevin Shirley. He produced a lot of brilliant hard rock and guitar-oriented records. I just kind of feel like this is probably a bucket list venue for him to play, and it's cool, man. Joe's great. Joe's a good guy and a great musician, and he has a lot of loyal fans. I'm sure they're waiting on this and excited about it.
Yeah,
I would bet there's video content of this coming out at some point.
You know it is. Special color double LP, but we don't know what that special color is.
Well,
I'm guessing purple. Who knows?
All right, I got a great sleeve face for you. You ready?
Come on. That is indeed.
Gracie Abrams, Secret of Us.
This one I know nothing about, I will tell you.
She is really connecting with people. She has previously worked with Aaron Dessner and continues that working arrangement on this record. This is her second record. There was like a little stopgap live thing that came out. Folk pop. Rolling Stone described her as sad girl pop. Her music is sad girl pop, but
I've
really
heard the name, but I've
never
heard
record.
her music.
Well, she really kind of blew up with Taylor Swift taking her on tour, and Taylor Swift appears on the song Us.
Hence knowing the name.
She's one of those people. She has a really unusual timbre to her voice. It's kind of like breathy and cool. I understand why people dig it. There's a little bit of I think is she J.J. Abrams' daughter, I believe.
Is she? That would be cool.
Could be wrong about that. Can't remember. Should have done some research. But anyways, got a lot of fans out there.
Well, it's on Interscope. Wasn't he tied? Didn't he? I don't know. There was something he was connected to. Interscope.
I don't know. But this is a big record.
What was this company? Bad Robot. Bad Robot. Yeah, Bad Robot. Yeah.
We know some bad robots
all the time.
All right, and Kate Nash. This is a super interesting record. I love her, and I think that she's like a super interesting artist. She's had a lot of ups and downs in her career. Classic Story had a monstrous, one multi-platinum artist in the UK. Won a Brit Award as a new artist. Just kind of lit it up. Was huge, and then kind of suffered the same kind of not knowing where to go next. I think had bad business decisions, had all kinds of issues. I think she had heart surgery, all this bunch of big life changes, calling out everybody who really kind of took her down the wrong path. And now she's on Kill Rock Stars in the United States, which is a
great label.
If I tell you what, man, if you have something to say, they'll let you do it. It's a good spot for her.
So I got this, and again, listening to her just a little while ago, kind of theatrical.
Right. Because she's an actress. She's been in a bunch of shows.
It sounds like music written for the theater, but still,
it does. Yeah.
But it still works as something alternative that you want to put on and listen to.
I think it's totally informed by her work as an actress.
Because there's strings and the piano playing is beautiful.
Voice is great.
Exactly right. Remind a little bit of who came out like that and was like when she was first out and people were like, oh, not Norah Jones. I don't know. It'll come to me later, but it's really good. It's different, and you want to hear the next song. Yeah,
it's a very personal record, and she has a very unique life story, worth checking out.
Put it on your list, people.
Grabs you, yeah.
Put it on your list.
Hey, man, very happy to be here talking about Shabuzi. This is where
have a big song happening right now?
Where I'm going.
Get out of town.
You know him. If you don't think you do, well, first of all, he's the only guy that's on like 3 cuts on the Beyonce record that we were just talking about, and of course, a bar song.
Lord.
Big lyrically. I think a lot of people identify with that. And then he's also got "Let It Burn" and what's the other song? Vegas. I mean, he's got like millions of streams for a brand new
he's
artist.
having a minute. This is our guy having the minute right now.
He is really, and he's cool. There's a, if you want to,
don't say you did an in-store with him 2 years ago. Okay, all right.
No, we did not. But I heard his.
Everybody's done an in-store.
I heard his NPR interview on. I think it was on All Things Considered. Super cool guy.
Yeah.
Like grew up listening to his father's record collection.
Yeah.
Was a fan of hip hop and country music, and is really kind of changing that genre. And check it out. It's cool record, man. It is a cool record. I like him.
Yeah. Good stuff.
We're gonna here's the always popular reissues portion of our program, and we're gonna kick it off. We're gonna talk about an artist that is one of the greatest selling Latin artists of all time, and that's Luis Miguel. And we often talk how you want to take some of these? Sure. We often talk about how the Latin community is underserved with vinyl records.
Yeah.
And
are these in like chronological order? Because my mom loved.
They've been coming out. Well, the two big ones are
give me some of those.
Here you go. Here, I'll talk. You display.
So this,
he's
right?
the young, maybe one of the youngest Grammy winners ever. When he was like 14, he was the first Spanish artist to have a platinum record in the United States. He's recorded in multiple languages. He does ballads. He really popularized boleros again. He's just multi-platinum. People love Luis Miguel, and it's great to have his records available. Again,
so they just dropped all of these at once, right?
Well, they've been coming out
over
the past like month and a half or so, and this is our first.
And this is probably like one of those artists that originally came out on vinyl.
Some of them did. The early ones did, but
and
really
then it was
CD era.
Cassette and CD era.
And so some of them were never really on record. It's great. It's a great opportunity. And boy, these romances records. This is you saw this one everywhere for a little while, right? But he's every record that guy's ever. I think these are the two biggest records of his career. These two that are all. He's a crooner too.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say.
Not a bad looking fella.
Not
you
at
look
all.
like him for a day, you'd be doing just fine.
I think you're gonna do just fine.
But it's great to have those records on the shelf because people forever. Do you have any Luis Miguel vinyl? Yes, we do. All right, this is kind of an unbelievable benchmark, right? It's the 50th anniversary of AC/DC.
Gosh.
Wow, here you go. Here you get a couple.
So good.
And they've all been branded. You see this little 50 AC/DC 50 with Angus doing a little windmill there. They did gold vinyl, very limited gold vinyl on with unique inserts and custom labels for their 50th anniversary, and they're going to be gone pretty quick. There's can't remember how many thousand they pressed up, but it's cool. Take band to take a second out and say, hey, let's do something special for our 50th
for our fans.
Yeah,
we're doing it for the fans.
So you can pick these up; they'll be gone pretty quick. So,
holy cow!
If you're into that, which I
am too.
You might want those.
There's nothing wrong with some AC/DC.
And let's talk about another artist that is just unbelievable. They haven't had any records available.
Yeah, I saw this.
Sade, we've been stocking these as very expensive imports.
I saw that.
And her first 3 records are now available again. Needed to be. People ask for these records all the time, and I'm just glad they're out in the States, so we're not. You're not having to buy a super expensive import.
Dude.
They should sound pretty good too, but she is really, everybody knows her multi-platinum. You hear her music all the time. It's licensed for commercials and TV, and you hear it wherever you go. But she's really, I think, on the modern era of people making records, she's super influential. Like right now, like people are really looking to her records.
I think I mentioned this story once before on the drop. So this was right before COVID. I interviewed Krunben, and I only had a few minutes with them, because they were about to play that show at White Oak, and I was kind of like, I had a set time that I knew. Yeah. So I'm kind of watching my phone and stuff as they're answering questions. So it's 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, it's the last question. All right. So, obviously you guys, are a band of the moment right now, and you can kind of pick and choose your tours, and great things are happening for the band. If you had one artist to collaborate with, who would it be? And I had a mic in my hand, went to Laura first, and she said Sade. Sade. That was it. And that was it. That was the end of the interview.
You see that, music is cyclical and it trends.
She's timeless though.
She's timeless.
Yeah.
She's really timeless, and she's very smart. She only makes a record like every
5,
6, 7, 8 years, just about the time.
Yeah, she hasn't made 32 albums.
No, she has not made. She has not. Okay, last of our reissues. Let's talk about this. Is so cool, man. This is record from 2005. So we're almost at a 20-year benchmark on this. I can't believe it. This was before the first Suffers record. This was the best-selling local record at Cactus.
Suffers, Houston-based band. Cam Franklin, lead vocal, just so you guys know.
Prior to that, for like 15 years, Tony Castillo held that record.
Wow,
this is his debut
Tony Castillo,
album. Reissued on the Strolling Bones label out of Athens. They're big fans, and I got to hear this right before it was
has
released.
done the in-stores.
He's done an in-store 10. And hoping to get him back to town. He lives in Austin. Hoping to get him back in town.
When was his new album? Was when? Because we talked about it. Wasn't that
a year and a half ago?
Was it a year and a half ago?
I think so.
Dear God.
Yeah. Could even be longer. Anyways.
Shout out Toady. Go buy that. Support some smaller
artists.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have him into. But this thing is
artists.
was never on vinyl, so you can pick it up, and it sounds great.
I love it.
Let's talk about some archival recordings, meaning records that were never. Music that has never been available before. This is Johnny Cash, songwriter, and his son, John Carter Cash, found these recordings that Johnny made. It was just voice and guitar. He made them before he went and did the American series.
Before the Rick Rubin thing.
With Rick Rubin. And you can hear how he was leaning in there. And I think 2 or 3 of these songs made it on that first American recordings record. So John R. got pulled together Marty Stewart and some other like brilliant musicians, including like Vince Gill, to help him finish this thing up and play sympathetic to the songs. It's incredible. Really terrific. It's cool. It's amazing that stuff that comes out that is just lost forever. They snatch it back from the edge of oblivion, and it really fits well in his catalog.
So okay, I'll ask a question. So if this comes in, or what's the process in a music store, right? In a record store like Cactus Music, one of the last great independent owned independent record stores. When an album comes in, you're like, oh my God, we need to hear that. Do you like cut a copy open and put it on the turntable? How does that work? And that becomes the store copy? Or do they send a copy for
They don't
the
really,
store?
because vinyl costs so. They used to.
I know they used to send like CDs or whatever.
But now vinyl
cassettes.
costs so much to make.
That they don't. I was just curious about that because I didn't.
You know what they did? They send me a
couple
dedicated
of turntables here.
Straight like
of course, a link
in advance.
Yeah,
like a month before it comes out. That's how I usually hear it first.
Is there a more iconic country music artist though?
No. He's the guy that hooked me when I was a little kid. I was like, that guy's cool.
Right? He looks mean.
We got time for one more.
Yeah, we do. We can sneak to it, I think.
All right. Well, this is
434, baby.
This is our last archival recording, and we're going to end it on weirdness.
Yeah.
This is Frank Zappa and the Mothers. I mean, just look at the weirdness going on there. This is recorded live at the Whiskey A Go-Go in 1968. Now, there's a 2 LP set, and there's also a 3 CD set that has, I think, every night that they played. But, that was a iconic venue for them and where they really kind of rose to prominence. And, they were part of the counterculture freak out of 60s music. And
I think they created freak out, didn't they?
They totally did. And I tell you, man, Frank, the tape never stopped rolling.
No.
And there are so many posthumous archival releases, and this is just the latest, but it's from an era that people really dig.
Yeah, if you were around in 1968, these are the guys you wanted to hang out with. I'm just telling you. What's the last thing in there? Come on.
Super weird. So I'm in the vinyl vault.
Oh, this is the vinyl vault. So we take turns. Oh, there it is. So we take turns. We pick a record that's from the past, near and dear, or we think you should know about, or we want to just tell you about it, whether you want to know about it or not. Go.
So I just picked one of my. Sometimes I try to go a little academic. This time I'm like, I'm just going to pick one of my favorite records.
Boogie.
And this is Boogie for sure. This is Humble Pie's Smokin' album.
Hell yeah.
They made a bunch of, they were a band that toured so much that a lot of times their records suffered because they would play 200 plus shows a year and have 2 weeks to make a record. This is not that record. This is the record that put them on the map. This is, Hot and Nasty, 30 Days in the Hole. This is This is like greasy, funky, groovy.
The great Steve Marriott.
And really,
and guitar.
If you wonder how you get to Black Crows, this is how you get there.
Exactly right.
Is what they were channeling.
Just
low down, funky, rockin' early 70s rock and roll, man.
Humble Pie, baby. If you don't know, figure it out. Go find
Check
that
it
one.
out. And that's
all right. So in store one more
rock.
time. Don't forget, we've got an in-store here at Cactus Music.
Days are going to be here. Kind of
What's it cost to attend that show?
That'd be zero, my
Zero
friend.
money, people.
Zero.
That
And
is-
complimentary craft beverages from the St. Arnold Brewing Company for you. It's going to be a good time.
You know what? I think it's worth a shout out to our new producer, Tarian Spurs, who's making this live happen. Thank you so much. The great, our founding member, the third Beatle. No, that doesn't make any sense. April Meek has moved on. Unfortunately, she's doing some other things. She might be watching. We love you.
We miss you.
Big
April.
kiss,
Thank you.
big hug. Tarian, you're amazing. Thank you for doing this for us, guys. Next week at 12:30, we are back. There is more to talk about. There'll be more new releases. We'll talk in stores. We'll talk about all sorts of stuff. Let's see. What else did I want? I'm dazed from the effects of this hurricane. I didn't have power for like 9 days, so I'm not completely
I feel the same
I'm
way.
not completely dialed in, but if you get a chance, if you're in the Houston area, so many small businesses need your help because they didn't have power for a week, maybe more. And for folks who are really living, scraping by,
The bills don't stop coming because of the
restaurants,
hurricane.
record stores, any independent, any mom and pop, you can do your part and just go buy a t-shirt or sit down and have a meal or do something, because that would mean the world to our small businesses.
Where you spend your money makes a difference.
Here
It
in the
absolutely
city,
does.
100%. And come down here and watch that free in-store on Saturday.
We hope to see you.
Will there be tasty St. Arnold's cold beverages?
Absolutely.
Family friendly too. All right, guys, we're gonna shut it down here in a minute. I'm trying to time it out right to make sure we get everything in. We covered everything. Did we cover everything? Drop something in the comments. Let us know. We'll try to do something that you guys like. All right, that's the drop. We're out of here. Peace, love. We'll see you later. Oh, this is a new wrinkle. I get to turn this off. So I have to figure out where the button is. Let's see. I'm looking. Oh, there's our socials. Yeah, you can download the Fox Local app on your smart TV. There's no mobile app on your smart TV. All right,
Is
guys.
this like ending a Zoom call?
Yeah, if we stand up, we're not wearing pants. All right. We'll see you later.